Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Hey, April, nice to have you on. Hello. I'm really tired today. See if I'm live in the group. I assume if people are joining, hello. As you come in, let me know what you're drinking. I have fallen victim of the Facebook ads. So I bought this new Kirkle. And if you guys have heard of that or seen the ad, and so inside the little container has all these different things that you can stick in there, switch them out for tea or water, and they've got levels, and you can do all sorts of fun stuff with it. So I've been drinking a lot of water actually now because I can sweeten it up a little bit. So I get to have my sugar without having the sugar. Mojito, did you make it from scratch or did someone else make it for you? I just love those, but they are complicated drinks to make. You got to smash and you got to have a special smashing tool, and but I love them. I just feel like the work is not worth it. It's sort of like crab legs to me, mojitos. All that work, and then you just get this little bitty shot. Hey, Andrea. Let's see who else. Sabrina, nice to have you on. Sandy, hi. Shonda, hi. Brenda, hi. Mia, hi. Lena, hi. Nice to have all of you ladies on today. It's about a minute after. I'm going to give it just a couple of minutes, and then we're going to get started because I got 5 things to talk about today. That's so funny. All right, so tell me what you're drinking as you come in. I'm drinking water mixed with tea and lemon or something in my Kirkle. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's really I wish they made it in gallons, right? Or, a bigger than, I think this is 16 ounces. Because, I'm supposed to be drinking a gallon of water a day, which is a lot of water. And I do need a little bit of lemon or something. So this thing has got just a little bit of sweetness in it. So I love it. Hey, Denise, Shajana, I hope I said your name right. Jalen, Leslie, nice to have all of you ladies on. Arivian, how are you? DJ, nice to have you on. Oh, Stella Rose Peach. Shonda, that sounds yummy. I didn't know Stella Rose made a peach. What is that? Is it, what is it? That sounds good. I like Stella Rose too. Is it, what is the white? Is it a Moscato? Or what is that? I got to know. I got to go look for Stella Rose Peach because I'm all into the Stella Rose. Hey, Larissa, Pat, Tanika. All right, there's a lot of people that are coming on. I don't know necessarily all of you, but welcome. I'm super excited to have you on. As you come in, put in what you're drinking. Yeah, Moscato. I'm drinking water mixed with some tea. All right. Ladies, and if there are any gents, welcome. I'm so super excited to have you here on Wednesday. I'm a little run down today, so I'm not going to be as animated as I normally am, but I say that in the beginning, and then by the end, I'll be all riled up because I'm just so excited by all you guys have to say. But let's start off with Red Moscato. Oh, that sounds yummy. Who said that? Who said the Red Moscato? That sounds good too. You guys need to tell. I need to get some of y'all's drinks. Like I didn't know that Stella Rose made a peach. I love peach flavored liquor. Okay, so type of 1. If this sounds like you, you know what? It's not even if it sounds like you. I actually was talking to some people last couple of weeks on Messenger. People that come in inside of the group, and then somebody said something to me the other day, and I was like, everybody wants the following. So just say me or one if this is you. Everybody that I talk to wants more clients. They want more money. They want more bookings. They want more business, they want more buyers, they want more everything. I mean, it was like consistent. Like I talked to like five people in a row. It's like I need more clients, I need more clients, I need more money, I need more bookings, I need more this, I need more that. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna do a live on need more, right? We all need more of something, right? And the question is but why can't you seem to get access to all that more that you want, right? What is happening that you can't get access to it? Because it's really no one else's fault or no one else that can fix it except for you. So I don't point the finger to blame you because you are doing something wrong or you're bad, but you have the power to change whatever situation is that you are in that you want something different. Only you have that power. So you want more clients, you want more money, you want more bookings, you want more business, you want more buyers, you want more everything. Look at you and ask yourself, what is it that I'm doing that I'm not getting more of what I want? All right. So before we dive into that, right? So Tamay says she needs to get more organized. You know, what I want to say is, what are you doing or failing to do that you aren't attracting the clients like bees to honey, right? Because ultimately you should. And don't tell me it's COVID. Oh, COVID, people are not traveling, so I'm not attracting clients. That's not it. Because I would even venture to ask you, because every person I talk to who tells me that they've got an issue, I ask, okay, how was it pre-COVID? And I would say out of 100 people I've talked to, maybe only 5 said everything was great, right? There was a problem pre-COVID with why you weren't attracting clients like honey, right? Like you were not the honey to bees, right? And so let's talk about some of those reasons and what you can do to fix it. So today we're going to talk about the 5 things you're doing right now in your business that are keeping you from getting the more clients that you want. And before I get started, I'd like to say thank you for those people who are new to me and who have decided to join me live. And for those who are not so new to me, thank you for being here live with me. I come here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central, not to be confused with Eastern, Pacific, or Mountain. 7 p.m. Central did I say Tuesday? Every Wednesday night, I'm here talking about something relative to the travel business as it relates to launching, marketing, and operating a profitable travel business. All right, my name is Sunday Gardner. If I didn't introduce myself, I am the online travel boss, and I am glad to be coming to you. Even though I'm a little tired and a little run down, I'm still excited to be here talking to you guys about the 5 things that you need to stop today doing in your business so that you can start attracting who you want and get some of that more money, get some of that more bookings, get some of that more whatever it is that you want in your business. All right, so let's talk about number 1. Somebody write 1 in the comments. Number 1. Now, I'm just going to start with, I may hurt your feelings and I'm sorry, right? I don't want you to get all upset and start flood my inbox talking about, well, that's not right. You know, this is not personal. This is just a fact-finding conversation, an observation, and every one of these things I have done myself in my business, right? So I don't want you to get all emotional in your feelings and talk to me about how, you know, and then you start, instead of reflecting on what I'm about to say, you start deflecting. So I want you to open up to these comments and think about what I'm saying and give me feedback on what you feel you can do in relationship to some of the recommendations I give. All right. So the number 1 reason why you're not getting clients is because you sell too much, right? And I know you're like, what do you mean I sell too much? That's crazy, right? I sell too much, but you're selling too much and you don't provide value, right? Ouch. I know that may hurt some of you, but the reality is you are throwing up on your social media sites or throwing up in other people's groups or even throwing up in your own group, and all you're doing is promoting and you don't offer any value to your customers. Somebody says we can take constructive feedback. So great. That's good. You're not providing help. You're not providing value. You're not providing service. You're just providing sales, and nobody really understands why you're the bomb.com, right? That's a reality. So here's an action. What I want you to do is I will always tell you that your number one job is to market your business. And all marketing is have systems in place to attract strangers or your ideal client on a consistent basis, right? Marketing does not mean that you're selling 24/7. It doesn't mean that you are always in somebody's pocket 24/7. That's not what marketing is, right? It's a strategy. And if you're strategic about it, it's a strategy on how you attract your most ideal client to your business consistently, right? So my action for you, if you fall victim of this, if you're selling and that's all you do is sell, sell and sell and sell and sell some more, and you're not getting any sales, then stop doing that, right? That means it's not working. So it's not that you need more offers or more, things to sell. You probably need to sell less and you need to start offering value. All right. That's what you need to do is you need to start selling less and start offering more value and service and help. And so the question is, how do I do that? Well, what do you mean by that? Like, how do I offer more value? How do I offer more service? I mean, we're in the middle of COVID, right? We're in the middle of COVID, and there are people who want to travel in your particular niche. What value are you providing them to assuage their concerns or their issues relative to travel and the safety of travel, right? For those who are bold enough and wild enough to actually travel during this time, what are you doing to help assuage them or providing yourself as an expert person who has their pulse on what's going on in the travel industry relative to the destinations that they're doing, right? What are you doing in that space? That's what you need to be thinking about. What do you do non-COVID related? That's service and of value, right? Are you an advisor? Are you really a trusted advisor, or are you coming off to your customers as sellers, right? Nobody likes a used car salesman. Frankly, I don't even like new car salesmen, let alone used car salesmen. But the question becomes, are you a used car salesman or are you an advisor? Are you providing advice? Are you providing guidance? Are you providing services associated with the travel or your particular niche, right? If you're doing that, let me know. Put in yes. If you're not doing that, I want you to take an honest look and put no, I'm not doing that. I'm not providing service. I'm not providing value. I'm not being an advisor, right? And it's not just an advisor to the people that pay you. It's an advisor to your prospective clients so that they know that you know what you're talking about, right? Right. So it's okay. I've been in that shoe. I've been in that same spot. So I could confidently raise my hand and say, yes, that was me. I did that. All I did was sell. I was in my group selling like 24/7. I was like, I got this package, I got this package, I got this thing. I was like, I need, and I wasn't providing any value. Well, you got to stop that. Number one thing you got to stop selling so much and start thinking about yourself as an advisor and what can you do to advise and to provide service and to provide value to your customers and your prospective clients. All right, so next one. Ready? Somebody type number two. Number two. We're going to talk about number two thing that's killing your client attraction, right? Or repelling clients. Number two is Youre Too General, right? Somebody says, I haven't been posting sales or helping advise, right? So, you're doing double, right? You're not doing both of that, but that's okay. It's okay to acknowledge where you are, right? The issue is, what are you going to do to fix it, right? So it's one thing. I don't want you to walk away from these conversations tonight and be like, oh, woe is me, right? I want you to walk away from these conversations with a plan of action to fix it, right? I'm not in the business of having you, beat you down and then not give you an action plan to fix. So number one, if you're not providing value, right, in your posts, in your email, in your communications with your customers, then you need to figure out what that is that you need to do. What is your specialty? What is it that people want from you to help you solve? And how do you uniquely do that for your customers? That's your number one action. Number two, let's go to number two. You are too general and nobody knows what you're good at. And don't tell me it's selling travel, right? Don't tell me, oh, well, I'm really good at selling travel, right? Well, so is everybody else. And so is Expedia.com. Like if you go to Expedia.com and you search in Las Vegas, they're good at giving you results as well, right? You got to be better than that. You got to be better at than just saying, I'm good at selling travel, because probably you're really not that good at it if you don't have clients, right? So the reality is you're too general. What is your specialty? What is it that people are going to seek you out for? And why are you the bomb.com? Don't let your customers try and figure that out. Don't make it a burden for them to try and determine why you're amazing at what you do. Make it obvious. Make it painfully obvious, gleefully obvious that you're the expert in what it is that you do. So if you're a generalist and you're just out there posting packages at left and right, or you're talking about Aruba, Cancun, Mexico, that's not getting you more clients, is it? I mean, you tell me. If it's getting you more clients, I say continue to do it. But if you're doing that and you're throwing up all these promotions and nobody's biting, stop doing it, because it's not working, right? It's not them, it's you. I mean, right? It's like, you may not agree that it's you, but it is you, right? The reality is you don't need more promotions. You need to distinguish yourself from Expedia.com, particularly if you're throwing up new deals every week, right? Unless you're going to be the person that gives like the best, cheapest deals, right? And I would never want to compete at that level. I don't ever want to be known as the cheapest coach, right? I don't want you to be known as the cheapest travel provider, unless, of course, you have a group. And I'll tell you, this guy, and I don't know if some of you, but I knew some last year. So there's this guy, and he's got this group. I think his name is Gabe. And he's got this group, and it's full of people. He's not even a travel agent. Get this, right? He's not even a travel agent. But he's got this group where he just teaches people inside the group how to leverage their credit card miles and points to get discounted travel. And I was like, that's phenomenal group. He's got thousands of people in that group. And all of those people in that group don't want to book their own travel. And even if they are using points, they're not using points on all of their own system. Because he talked to me and he was like, well, can I throw you business? I was like, dude, no, you can't throw me business, right? I'm like, why aren't you doing your own business? But the point is that was a really great niche, right? That was something that people could do. So, but that was his thing, right? He taught people how to sign up for credit cards, get all the miles, and do all this stuff. And that was his thing. And he had a room full of it, a community full of that. And they loved his advice. And he would come on live and he would talk about, different ways. And he would be traveling. I mean, he was all over the world. Like, he was never in the United States. But anyway, that's enough about Gabriel, right? Do you guys understand number 2? Give me some yeses if you understand number 2, right? You're too general. You're not specific. Or maybe you are. Maybe you think, I've got a niche, right? My favorite example, I specialize in destination weddings, right? Well, so what? What do you do special in destination weddings that they can't do themselves, right? How are you differentiating yourself from the do-it-yourselfers? How are you differentiating yourselves from, all the magazines that talk about going on destination weddings, or even the resorts who are telling about destination weddings? What makes you the bomb.com? Do not let your customers decide that for you. Make it gleefully obvious or painfully obvious why you are the choice for your particular niche. All right. Let's say number 3. You guys ready to go to number 3? All right. Okay. I got a lot of yeses, so you guys are understanding. All right. Number 3 is you don't have a game plan, right? And it's obvious, right? So when I say make it painfully obvious that you're the bomb.com and that you're the go-to person in your particular area of expertise, you have the very exact opposite in your presentation or in your delivery. And what I mean by that simply is you are all over the place, right? And it's okay to offer variety, right? But you are all over the place in your operations and your interaction and everything that you do. And it's obvious that you're all over the place. So my simple action is this. Like, I have talked to so many customers, not travel agents, but customers, right? That are like, I have called a travel agent and they haven't returned my phone call. What? What do you mean you haven't returned a phone call? They don't return their messages. They don't return their emails. They never got back to them. Do you know how many people tell me, customers tell me that I have tried to work with somebody and they didn't return my contact? That tells me that y'all ain't got your stuff together. You don't have systems in place for the following: for getting customers, for onboarding customers and retaining customers, right? If you don't have a process by which somebody calls you back and it doesn't notify you that there was a phone call that you missed, or you're not returning voicemail, that, and I'm notorious for this. Like, I can confidently say, if you leave me a voicemail, it's probably likely I'm not going to answer it. But it's rare that people have my phone number because I don't reply to voicemail, right? But Messenger, that's like the way to get me. You like text me, you message me. I got like 50 different processes that alert me when that happens, right? So people can tell me that I know that I need to respond to a customer, a prospective customer, right? So Tammy says she's all over the place, right? Own it and fix it, right? That's our motto. Own our issue and fix it today, right? Fix it, make a plan to fix it. But if you're all over the place, that is a client repeller, right? Clients don't like that. Prospective clients don't like that. I don't like, get me, right? The audacity of me. I leave you a voicemail, non-voicemail responder, and then I get upset that you don't return my phone call. But you know what I do? If I leave a voicemail, I follow up with an email or I text, right? Because I know me, I'm not going to respond to a voicemail. So I'm just telling you, if you have my phone number and you leave me a voicemail, don't waste your time. I'm not going to reply because I don't listen to voicemail. But I do reply to text. I reply to messengers. I reply to emails. I reply to all of that. If you don't have processes in place for that, you need to get it together. Have a system to get clients, have a system to onboard them, and have a system to retain them. Right? So your system to get clients should be a way for when people reach out to you, are you going to respond? Do you have a process to keep them, to respond to them or let them know that you're going to get back to them in terms of whatever your SLA is, service level agreement, right? The time that you're going to commit to get back to people, right? Do you do that? Are you all over the place with your contact? Everything I have out there in the social media world leads back to my Facebook group or my Messenger page. 2 places. Right? I want you in my group, or I want you in Messenger. That's it. Like that's everything. I can't think of anything that leads them anywhere else. Nobody's going to phone call. Rarely am I getting new clients popping in my email box because everything I post or want is to get back into my group or to get me in Messenger because those are my 2 high touch points, and that's where I want my prospective leads. Right? Where are your 2 high touch points? Where are people contacting you? Right? I want people to try and get me as soon as possible. Now, I may not respond immediately, but I'm responding certainly within 24 hours, right? What's your response time? Have you defined that? Are you clear about what that is, right? That sets you apart from your competitors. That sets you apart from Expedia, because try calling Expedia 1-800 and you're never going to get a person, or right? So that's what's going to set you apart. Being available to your customers when they need you, or making it clear when your availability is. Is it worth having a website? So somebody says, is it worth having a website? So Sandra, no. I mean, yes and no. I think as you guys, so for newbies, Sandra, you've been in the business for 2 years, and you're inside of Travel Passions to Profits. And so, immediately I tell you all, lock down your website asset, your URL immediately, right? So you decide that you are Sunday Gardener Travel, lock down Sunday Gardener Travel, right? Whatever the name of your business is, lock it down, do it immediately. However, do you need to have a website to sell and to be profitable? No, you don't. But should you have one eventually? Yes. I would rather you have systems in place, such as landing pages, processes to get strangers into whatever your high touch relationship area is going to be. Sandra, for you, it's going to be your Facebook group. For those in the program right now, it's your Facebook group is your high touch point. Maybe you have a landing page for your stranger offer and you're going to nurture people in email sequences, right? Maybe that's your high touch point area. Whatever it is, I want you to have a way for people to get in relationship with you, right? Whatever that may be for you. For me and my students, it's groups, right? Creating groups where they can nurture their prospective clients into. So website is important, but I will tell you this, unless you are driving traffic to your website, unless your website is highly SEO'd so that it's discoverable when somebody does search, right? Most of you all will build a website that nobody will come to, right? Because you don't have the attraction mechanisms in place for it to be found, right? It's the idea of you build it and they will come doesn't exist, right? You have to build either technology or things inside to your website for people to actually get to your website. So unless you're doing that, I say building a website is not a value right now when you're new. Right now, I'd rather you focus on building some sort of stranger offer, some sort of landing page to that stranger offer, building a group and nurturing group, and then driving traffic to that group. That's what I would rather you focus on when you first begin your business. Now, once those systems are in place and they're steadily bringing you clients, right, or leads, and you're nurturing them and you're converting them, then I say your next phase is go on, get your website, start driving traffic to your website, maybe do a blog, maybe do something else, right? But get this attraction system down first and foremost. All right, you ready? Let's go to number 4. This one's going to hurt, but let's go to number 4. Everybody type number 4. I wrote this down and I was like, I wonder if this is going to make sense, but this is number 4. You have friends, not buyers, right? So you are marketing to your BFFs that have never bought from you before, right? And although they may be interested, right, and they believe that they should have BFF discounts, right, the reality is you should only be giving BFF discounts in your business to people who have earned BFF discounts or BFF privileges or BFF whatever, right? You are marketing to your friends. They're not buyers, they're your friends. Now, it's not to say that some of your friends will not buy from you, but that's not where you should be expending your time or effort. Marketing to your friends, you should be marketing to strangers. Those are the people that are going to make you rich. Those are the people that are going to buy from you, right? Because in order for them to buy from you, that means you've done something that's given them a reason to buy, right? And so your friends don't really have a reason, even though your BFF, stop marketing to them. Stop expending all of that energy because literally, if they are your BFF buyers, you shouldn't have to expend a lot of energy. They are already invested and they're already acclimated to you and they're already believing you to buy, right? So there should be very little effort spent on BFF buyers, right? Again, I'm not talking like you're just general BFFs, right? So what I mean by this is that you are marketing to your friends, not marketing to buyers. So stop it, right? You're spending your energy in that space, and where you need to be spending your energy is in your ideal clients. So I want you to, I talk to a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of them tell me, I'm so sad. I started my business, and my friends and family aren't buying from me, and they're not supporting me. Well, you know what? So what, right? Stop selling to them. Stop marketing to them. They are not your ideal client. Right. And that sort of sounds cliche, right? When people say, well, it's not them, it's them, it's not you. No, it's you. Stop selling to your friends and family. Stop throwing up on them. Again, selling, not value, not providing value. Stop selling them your services. Stop selling them because, again, they have this expectation to get the BFF rate or the BFF perks, and they've done nothing to earn them. Those perks and those specialties are for buyers who have earned it in your business, right? This is a business. This is not personal, right? When I have dinner and I, have my favorite, 30-year scotch, that's when I invite my BFFs, right? But when I'm trying to grow a business, a 6-figure business that's profitable, I'm not giving discounts to BFF friends. My homie from high school, my best friend from college. No, she may get to go on a trip with me or two, but I'm not trying to sell to her. I'm not trying to market to her. I'm marketing to my ideal client, right? So stop getting hurt by something you shouldn't even be doing, right? You should be focused on your friends and family. You should be focused on your ideal client. And the problem is 9 times out of 10, you don't even know who that is. You don't know who your ideal client is. You don't know who it is that you should be marketing to. So that's the reason why you're not attracting anybody. Right? If you specialize in, wedding destinations, which is my favorite example, right? And you think, well, I'm specializing in wedding destinations, and I don't get anybody who's interested in wedding destinations. And so my second question to people is like, okay, well, where are you marketing? Well, on my page. I'm like, well, do you have a bunch of friends who are about to get married? Like, do you have a bunch of friends and family that are about to get married? I mean, it's probably one or two people in your circle that are even meeting your ideal client. And by that regard, they probably in their mind don't even think that you're going to do it the way, or they're going to go in their mind to the expert that isn't their friend, right? That's what they're thinking, right? So the point is that expend your effort, dollars, money, time, everything into identifying who your ideal market is and then market to them, right? Offer them value, offer them services, offer them help, right? And then promote to them, right? That's what you should be doing. So number 4 is, stop wasting your time on a market that is not your ideal market, right? Friends and family. All right. So my action that I have for this is that you need to create a stranger attraction system, right? And if you're new to me and you're like, well, what is a stranger attraction system? I want you to think of any new relationship you have, right? I'm a stranger to most of the people that are on here. You don't know a thing about me, right? Right? This live is value, right? Hopefully it's value. Hopefully you guys think it's value, right? But I'm trying to pour into you the fact of what you should be doing in your business so that you can see success, right? I'm not hard selling you. I'm not asking you to spend thousands of dollars with me, right? If you decide to, that's your business. But I know that I come here every week giving you value, right? What are you doing every week to give value to your customers and your prospective customers in the wedding destination space, which is that example, my example, right? There are brides right now, right? I'm going to use this as an example. There are brides right now, if you're in this space, who have not the freaking clue what to do in COVID, right? Or even post-COVID for the wedding that they want to have. And they're going right now online searching on the internet endlessly trying to find how to piece together this wedding that isn't going to be in their hometown because they don't want to deal with all the crap that dealing is with. There's people right now who are looking at, are they discovering you in the search? Is your name popping up in the search? Probably not, because you've not done anything to make it pop up in the search, right? You haven't done anything that indicates that you were the specialist in that space, right? Right. And there's a lot that you can be doing. So don't tell me now during COVID nobody's traveling, but even pre-COVID you didn't have business, right? This is the time now to be working on this, right? This is the time now to be creating that presence that represents you as the expert. You should be pouring your heart and soul in that during this time. Getting your systems in place so that when it does, the floodgates do open up, you're ready, right? All right, so somebody asked, how are you getting strangers in your group? Facebook ads all day long. All day long. Facebook ads, Facebook ads, Facebook ads. There's nothing else I can say but Facebook ads. It is the cat's meow. So if you're new to me, you will probably get sick of me saying Facebook ads is the bomb.com for the little people like us, right? Because for all of you travel agents that specialize in whatever you specialize in, once you determine what that is, right, you're going to be able to find micro precision that person on Facebook. Great. Like literally, right, we've got Sandra who specializes in wedding destinations, right? And she's in our Travel Passions to Profit. And we will be able to find people who are about to get married in the next 12, 6 months, 18 months. I can't remember what the increments are in Facebook, but we'll figure that out. And we'll be able to find everyone who's just gotten recently engaged and getting married in that time frame, right? We'll be able to find people by location. We'll be able to find people by age, by money bracket, by whatever, right? That is what the power of Facebook is. And all of that power is in our little hands and is not just available to the big guy like Coca-Cola, the big giant travel agencies. It's available to us. Little people, us little people have the ability to get access to that same data set and market to those same sets of people. So Sabrina says, so you recommend paying for ads all day long, like every single day, and even more, like every single day, I recommend paying for ads. Now, I don't recommend you jump into Facebook ads with your money, with your credit card in hand and just jump in and don't know what you're doing, because what Zuckerberg will do is he'll take your money and you won't get not one result. Take it from me, who learned that the hard way. I looked up, having spent, I think that first time I started, this was back in 2010, I forgot to turn the ad off. I didn't really know that you could turn the ad off. I don't remember. Some $500 later, nothing did I get out of that, right? But it's running. not getting me really anything $500 later. So what I will say is do not spend money on Facebook ads if you do not know what you're doing. I'd rather you hire, learn it yourself, whatever that may be, but I'd rather you not just jump in there. Boosting, last week I meant to talk about this, but Facebook boosts, people will tell me, oh, I boosted a post and I didn't get any results or only got a few results. And let me just tell you the secret of boosting. Boosting is a feature on Facebook ads that were created, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And the idea of the boost is just to get visibility on the post. It's not intended to get conversions, capture leads, all of that. Now, by happenstance, some of you are doing boosting promotions to strangers and you are getting some hits, and I think that's great. But largely, the boost feature within Facebook is not intended but to get visibility on it, to get likes, clicks, and that kind of stuff. The Jessica says, can you repeat the bomb.com phrase that you use? It's a stranger attraction system. So you have to have a stranger attraction system. You have a way to attract strangers into your relationship, your high-touch relationships method, right? My high-touch relationship method is my Facebook group. I was never really good at email marketing. And I think I've gotten a lot better than I was when I started 4 years ago. But my high-touch area has always been my Facebook group. And so what I'm teaching now is how to take those high-touch areas and use them, attract the people that you want inside of them, and use those high-touch areas to ultimately monetize them. But really, the objective is that you have to have a way to attract strangers, nurture the relationship, and convert. I call that ARC. Have you taken marketing classes for setting up ads? Yes, I have taken thousands of dollars of marketing ads. So for those that are new to me, my story relative to Facebook advertising is when I first started, knew nothing about it, invested in like a $200 Facebook ads class. And the class taught me the mechanics, like the technical mechanics of like how to put a Facebook ads together. I did every single thing because I'm a follow your direction type of technology person. I did every little thing. I checked every little button. I did everything and I still got no results. And I was like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Like I spent because it's painful to like put together a Facebook ad, particularly if you don't know, because there's like all these things you've got to be cognizant of. And this was this was back in 2016. So I've been advertising since 2010. Took a class in 2016, $200 class. She showed me all the little ticks and ties, right? Didn't get any results. Then subsequently took a $2,000 class and learned so much from this lady, and then hired her ad company to develop a Facebook funnel for me. And it worked, right? The funnel was designed to get discovery calls, right? So it was this and that. And, she did all the pieces, she put it together, and then I learned. I spent $10,000 for the Facebook ad agency. And from that, learned all the tips and tricks that she did. So I took all of those 3 learnings together to become what I call still an intermediate trainer or knowledge base haver on Facebook, because it changes so much. It's so very difficult to keep up with all of the changes if you want to become a guru expert. So I don't ever say that I'm a guru because they may have changed something. I'm not on the change list anymore. So I don't know every change. I know how to be effective though and get leads. That's what I do well. So somebody says, can you set up a class? And that's what we go inside of the program. So inside of Travel Passions to Profits, we do go over Facebook ads. Again, I'm not going to teach everyone every little idiosyncrasy and the 15 different types of Facebook ads that you can use. What we will be doing inside of that class is a very specific funnel for the students to get leads inside of their group. That is what we're going to be focused on. So those students will have their attraction system, and their high touch area is going to be their Facebook group. So that's what we're going to be doing. All right, you guys ready for number 5? Number 5, the very last one. So I just want to reiterate, number 4, get out of the friend zone. I wrote that and I didn't say it. I want you guys to get out of the friend zone. Don't work with the people in your friend zone and get yourself out of the friend zone, and don't put yourself in the friend zone, right? Not when it comes to your business. Now, what you do after your business, around your business, not related to your business, is your business. But stop operating in the friend zone. We do not want to be in the business of working with people who are expecting BFF discounts that haven't earned it. BFF discounts or special treatment are only reserved for clients who have earned it, right? Your top clients that are working with you, your top whatever relative to your clients. BFF status in your business is only for those that are worth it. Number 5, the reason why, the number 5 reason why that you are repelling customers in your business is your mindset. 99% of the people that I talk to who tell me, that they're not making sales, or the problem with their sales is I'm not good at marketing. I can't get clients, right? That's a mindset thing, right? Because you can change that, right? You're not good at marketing is a lack of knowledge, right? That doesn't mean that you need to be spewing out all of that in your in the universe about how you're not good at marketing, because what you say and what you think is what is attracted to you, right? And I believe that 125,000%, right? What you say and what you think is what you attract, right? So instead of saying, here's the alternative for all of you people out there that say, I'm not good at marketing, marketing is not my good thing, and I can't get clients, here's the alternative words I want you to use is, I'm learning how to be, what did I write? Okay, I'm learning to be great at getting clients. I want you to write that. I am learning to be great at getting clients. Does that make sense? I am learning to be great at getting clients. So if somebody says, what's your struggle? What's your problem? I am in the midst of learning to be great at getting clients, right? Retrain your brain on that. I am learning. So it acknowledges that you don't know it all and that you have some things to get to, but that you are actively working on that thing, right? And you're not spewing out in the universe that you suck, right? Because you suck means that you're going to attract people that suck, right? We don't want that. We want you to say, I am learning to be great at getting clients, right? And I will get more than enough clients that I need. That is the new mantra that I want you guys to say. I want you to retrain your thoughts and retrain your brain. Because you're not good at marketing doesn't mean that you can't be good at marketing. First, you got to acknowledge that's something that you got to work on, right? And seek out the resolution of it, right? And what I'm saying is, did I just tell you how much money I spent on learning how to do Facebook ads, right? I spent over $12,000, not to mention the god-awful number of hours that I have spent tweaking ads, playing with ads, running ads, not to mention the money that I have spent. That's to acquire knowledge, not to mention the money I have wasted on trial and error. I could look at my account. I think I looked at my account last year and I had spent $20,000 in Facebook ads. $20,000. And that's over from 2016, because, right, this is a new account. This is not even looking at the 2010 spend. 2016 to now. So in 4 years, 20,000. And in my mind, I need to be spending more, right? I need to be spending more money. I'd like to be spending $20,000 a month. Because if I'm spending $20,000 a month, that means I'm 100K, I'm 100K, 200, 300K a month type of person, right? I love that. So I'm not afraid to spend the money, right? You shouldn't be afraid to spend money. What you need to be afraid of is what you don't know, and you don't want to waste the money. I'm not afraid. So there's a difference between spending the money and knowing that you're going to get a return versus spending the money and you have no idea and you're just sort of throwing it at the wall, right? And that's what you're doing if you don't have the knowledge. So you need to acquire the knowledge or outsource it, right? They're great. I mean, I absolutely think that 10K I spent on the Facebook ads. Now, I didn't know how to sell worth shit. So she got me discovery calls, but I didn't know anything about discovery calls then. I'd never done that. That wasn't my background. So I wasn't trained in that. I didn't have the background in it. So I had to develop that skill. But she did exactly what she set out to do, which was to get me calls, right? That sales funnel worked. It was a no touch. I didn't have to, people would schedule calls. They would be in my inbox. I'd get emails. Somebody is scheduled. Somebody is scheduled. Somebody is scheduled. Somebody is scheduled. Somebody is scheduled, right? Wouldn't it be great for people to just pop up in your whatever, right? In your email list, in your group, and they were the people that you want in your group, or you had a mechanism to vet them out to determine if they were a good fit, but they at least met some general criteria. They weren't your friends, And again, I'm not bashing friends, but you get what I'm saying, right? Hopefully you do. All right, so that's number 5, right? So my action for number 5 is I want you to believe in yourself and take action. I don't want you to believe in yourself and not do anything, right? And ignore the fact that you have a deficit that you need to address. That's not what I'm saying. So I'm not asking you to just turn the wording around and not do something about the deficit that you have. So if you know that marketing is not your strong point, you have 3 choices. And oftentimes what happens is the third one. But you have the choice to do something about it, right? Get the skill set yourself, right? Do it, learn it yourself, trial and error, right? That's the longest, hardest path. Hire a coach or a trainer to teach you what it is that you need to learn. You could then also outsource the whole thing. And really, number 4 is what most people do, or do nothing and bitch about it. That's what most people do. Is I'm not good at marketing, and you heard on some seminar that you should be posting, so that's what you try and do. But you really don't know the strategy around the posting. You don't really know the strategy around that fill in the blank thing, because as a marketer, the person who gave you that information, they're not about telling you the how of what it is. They're telling you that you need to do it, but they're not telling you about the how. You learn that in their whatever service or program they have, right? So you're taking all this free knowledge and you're trying to apply it because you're afraid to invest in yourself, right? So I say, stop that. So you got, what did I say? 4 options, right? When it comes to turning that I'm bad around marketing, or I need more clients, I need more bookings, I need more money, I need more this, right? What is the thing that is stopping you from being able to acquire that? And what action are you taking to resolve it, right? I just gave you 5 examples that I have personally done, right? That I have fixed in my business and continue to work on. Those are things that you may need to do as well in your business. And so my action item for you today is change your thoughts, change the words that come out of your mouth, and put together an action plan to resolve them. All right. So my question, I'm looking at my phone because I can't see everyone I can see what you're posting, but I can't see who it is. So let's see what some of you guys are saying. So in the meantime, while I'm reading and trying to catch up on the notes, tell me if this makes sense and if you guys understand. And if you do, I want you to write action, that you're ready to take action and do something about this, okay? So for those who do write action, I'm going to assume that you mean that you want to take action, and I'll reach out to you tomorrow or Friday, all right? So Mia says, not sure if you talked about this, but making a business page, would you recommend it? Business pages, Facebook business pages are designed to facilitate advertising. That's all they are now. Not when they first originated, but 10 years ago, they were great tools. Now it's a tool so that you can facilitate advertising. That's how Zuckerberg has it, is that you have to create a Facebook business page if you want to advertise your business. You want to reach your audience. So it doesn't matter how large your Facebook business page is. It is a great thing to have in your business. It validates you. It's another step in the validation process that people go through to see that you are a legitimate business. So I definitely think it's important that you use it. But I will just give you an example. You could have 1,000 people on your Facebook business page, right? People that have liked your page, are following your page, and you do a post, you do, a value post, you do whatever type of post, and only 8 to 10% of those people will see that post organically. And organically means for free, without you boosting it. So you boost it so that the people who are affiliated with your page will actually see the post, right? And then engage with the post. So Facebook business page is great for facilitating advertising. All right. So let me make sure that I got everything. Any other questions? So this is the time to ask some questions right before I go. We'll make sure we got plenty of time. So I got about 5 minutes for questions. So if you have any questions that you want me to answer, put them in the chat and I will answer them. So I answered that's right. You guys that wrote, you're learning to be great at getting clients. I love that. Penny asked about setting up a class. So I talked about that already. I answered. Okay, so I think I've answered all of the questions that were there. Okay, so, all right. So we got a lot of action takers. Love that. We'll be reaching out to you over the next couple of days. And listen, for those who are new to Sunday, I again cannot thank you enough for, taking the time out of your Wednesday to spend this time with me. Super excited to have you here. Super, just I always use those terms, so I know people are like super excited, but that's my term. Super excited. If you are new to my group, here's my recommendation for you, right? Is I would like you to go to the unit section of this group and look through all of the, or as many as you'd like to consume. But there is a lot of great valuable information inside of the unit section on mindset, on starting and launching your business, marketing your business, right? Things that you need to consider as you decide to market your business. And then for those that who have already in the business and are not successful, like what are the things that you can do, right? Just in the last several weeks, I've done some great topics on, what is an attraction system? What is an attraction system? What did I learn from COVID and then I'm now doing in my business, right? What are these things that you can do? Check out the unit section, the video section of this group. Get yourself acclimated, reach out, ask questions. That is what I am here for. That is what the group is. We have some amazing people in the group, women, men who've been in the trenches, who are thinking about getting in the trenches. And, everyone is so very supportive of each other. So I'm super glad to have you. I will be back here next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central. And with that, I give you a great goodbye and have a great rest of your week. I will talk to you soon. Bye.